Well, hello and welcome, people of the internet, to Return to Abyss. This is a very evolution-heavy bullet heaven where I believe every weapon in the game has at least access up to 6 different evolutions, which is pretty crazy to think about. A lot of the other bullet heavens we play typically have like 1 evolution, so it's kind of the same experience every time. This one, there's a lot of different evolutions you can go for, and the way that your build plays out is actually going to change dramatically, not just because of the evolutions, but how you actually go about evolving your weapon. So we'll take a look at that when we jump in. First of all, we're going to jump into our hub here inside this house, or bar, I guess. It literally says right there, bar. I'm like, it's a house. And yeah, so we'll go in, take a look at all the different systems before actually doing a run, and then we'll talk about the game after actually playing our run. Before we do jump in though, if you do enjoy the content, would you kindly smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more roguelite action. So the hub itself, we got 2 things outside here. I guess technically we probably have 3 eventually. I'm assuming something here is going to open up. We have all these different missions. Now the missions, there are some daily quests that you can do to get more money or random items. The items we'll see here in a little bit. We have all of the achievements that we can complete, and of course statistics, just to kind of show you the total kind of lifetime of your game, what you've been doing. Over here we have kind of our traditional meta progression that we're typically used to seeing. That said, it's not as simple as the I mean, it is just like the point and click ones that I've mentioned I'm like not a big fan of, but these are a little bit different. You know, it's not just as simple as just like attack power up, experience up. It does a little bit different things. So each of these gods kind of have a different focus. The god of the forge is more focused on offensive, god of blessing is more focused on defensive, and the god of order is more focused on game systems and changing how the systems work. So just a quick overview there that you can kind of pause through and read all of them if you'd like to. For the most part, I'm not going to do these right now just because I kind of want to show what a first run looks like. So now we haven't, yes, this is where we actually, oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Okay, well, we can close this. Yeah, these tentacles, of course, try and grab you here. So inside the bar, we have a lot of different things to look at. Basically anything with a circle over its head you can interact with. I guess we'll start over here because this is the least exciting, at least for me. You can just choose what music track you want to listen to. Super easy. Over here, actually, let's look at this guy last because he's kind of the most exciting one. We have our bar maiden over here, which we can mix drinks in order to give ourselves different power-ups for our next run. So just for example, I honestly haven't even done this yet, so I don't know what's going to come out of it. We're just going to do one of each. The game actually gives you these right off the bat. So we'll go ahead and I guess hold space to combine these. There we go. She's going to make us a little drink, or I guess he's going to make us the drink. And we get Gold Wet Hurricane. So weapon damage goes up, HP restored per second goes up, and all enemy speed goes down. Wow, that's pretty good. During the drink's effect periods, achievements and game speed will not be unlocked, except for special achievements, and all statistics will not be recorded. Drinks will not take effect in endless mode. Oh, that's weird. Achievements and game speed up will not be unlocked? Huh. I'm not really sure what that means. That being said, no, we'll go ahead and drink it. That's fine. That's fine. So that's how that system works. Over here, we have our collection, which you can see I have nothing in. So that's pretty great. That's a great feature right there. Over here, we can talk to the bartender and take a look at all the characters. Right now, I only have the one character, the former Archangel Aurora, unlocked. Her initial weapon, accessories I haven't unlocked yet, so I'm not exactly sure what this system is. It's a couple different things we can look at. Of course, her story, which I'm going to be honest is the least interesting thing on this screen. We have different attributes. So there is an influence system. There was something in the tutorial. I don't think you can like give gifts to anyone. I think this is literally just level. So as you use the characters more, you'll level them up. And as they level up, you'll get different bonuses to how their character actually works. And then, of course, as you would expect to see in an anime style game, there are skins, which of course are DLC. So if you're interested in that, those are available. And then we have a bunch of different characters here that we'll just scroll through really quickly. So again, if you want to pause and take a look at them, feel free to. Now over here, This is the store. So this is where we can buy all kinds of different ingredients, which we can then mix together to make drinks. And there was a formula tab over here. So if we actually open this up and hit tab, we don't have it collected. So I guess we actually have to collect different formulas somehow. I kind of figured that they would auto-fill once we put different ingredients in here, but I guess that's not the case. So you have your ingredients there. We also have other items. Now, what are these items here for? This is kind of one of the interesting things about the game that's different from any bullet heaven I've seen. So we can buy these, and what we can do is we can put them over here in the airdrop. And so the airdrop basically will guarantee you certain items that you want to appear in your run. So generate periodic quakes in the following 20 seconds to repulse enemies. So we can go ahead and pop that in right there. They do get used. So it's not like you only need one and then you can swap them out. You're going to have to keep buying them if you want to keep using them. And then, of course, you can upgrade. How much does it cost to upgrade? Let's do cooldown. Cost some money. Okay. So money is basically your sole feature in order to unlock things. And lastly, let's look weapons, because this is the fun stuff. So our light lance here right now has 4 different evolutions unlocked. I'm assuming there's quests that we need to do to unlock these other 2. And every weapon is the same. So if we go over all of these, you'll see that there's 6 different versions. Now, if you're a keen eye watcher, you might notice that there's some similarities in these weapons. And those similarities are you have a red weapon, a blue weapon, and then a green weapon, and then kind of a rainbow weapon, right? You can see that now that I've highlighted that. You also have yellow and black, or purple, I guess. Don't know about these yet. But basically, the way that the system works... Oh, wait. There's also accessories up here. Oh, right. Okay, so first of all, let me explain the system right here first, then I'll talk about the accessories real quick. So basically, there's 2 different upgrades that you can get in the game. There are accessories, and these are ones that you would kind of expect to see. You know, they either increase damage, they increase the quantity of weapons, or the quantity of projectiles that you're firing, increase the size. It basically just changes how the weapon works. Now, at a time, on each weapon, you can have 6 of these equipped. The cool thing about it is you can actually change what ones you want. So right now I have 9 active because I think I just unlocked this one right here. But when you start, you have 8, and you can actually turn off ones that you don't want. Now you do have to have 8 active, but you can kind of focus on a certain build, which is kind of a cool thing. It's a cool system having something like this. Now the other way that we can power up our character is there's going to be, I forget what they're called, but at this point, we can jump into the game, so that way we'll, get to see it, and then we'll actually jump into gameplay rather than just hearing me talk over nothing. We'll play on Hell's Surface, and we'll play in normal difficulty. So basically, there are 3 different color power-ups that we're going to be able to get for each weapon. Those being red, blue, and, wait for it, that's right, green. So when you actually pick these up, there are going to be 3 bars above each weapon that we get. And if you get 3 of a certain kind, so for example, if you get 3 red, your weapon is, when it's ready to evolve, after you get 6 of the accessory upgrades, it's going to evolve into the red evolution weapon. So here we go. Here are the kind of, I forget what they're called, but anyway, these power-ups, right? So here's a red one, here's a blue one. If I wanted to go for the red weapon, I'd have to go for all red power-ups. If I wanted the blue one, all blue power-ups. And if I want to go for the rainbow one, I would just have to have at least one of a different color. So that could be 2 in 1, that could be 1, 1 in 1. Okay. I think here though, so this literally just gives us a dash. I think I'm going to take this. This one seems pretty powerful. Normally we don't have a dash. This literally just gives us the ability to dash, so I'm going to take it. But there's going to be other stuff. There's going to be stuff that provides us with defenses. Red is typically going to be more offensive. And then I think green is more like utility based, I think. And then blue, I think, might be a little bit more defensive, would be my assumption. But I haven't gotten a good look at like everything. So like I said, I'm just kind of assuming that to be the case. Now the game is definitely geared more towards like the meta progression-ish Yeah, so like here, like deploy a deceleration net, which is basically like a web, right? Holy light repelling distance. I don't think we have that yet. I think holy light is it's basically an ability that we can grab that's a color that will like push enemies away from us, but I don't think we don't have that yet. Or is it attached to this? Because holy light is our weapon? I think I'm just going to take the deceleration net. The deceleration net is actually quite good. And there's our airdrop counter. That's actually a new feature. I must have just unlocked that because in my first test run we did, I didn't even have that available to me. Here we go. So this is what I thought it was. Roar to repel surrounding enemies. Right? Because the keyword there being repel. So I'm not sure what it does if you take it without having the warrior's roar. But what I was saying before is that this game is definitely built more for like the cool evolutions. There's not a whole lot to do on the map, and what I mean by that is there's nothing to do on the map. There's going to be different waves of enemies or different waves of elites that spawn. So right now, let's see, we get a new weapon. I'm going to take Firefly. Firefly is actually pretty powerful. Hand cannon is okay. It just shoots in the direction that you're moving, which is not a weapon type that I'm overly fond of. Wildfire just drops fire circles behind us, fire pools behind us. Firefly is kind of interesting. They're going to kind of just kind of orbit, or not orbit around us, but kind of fly around us into enemies. And I like taking Fireflies cause explosions. So you'll see them kind of like fly out and kind of target enemies. And when they hit them, they'll kind of explode a little bit, do a little bit of damage. Pick up the magnet here. And magnet also picks up coin. So it's not just experience, it's both. Holy light count up base 100% of base value. So that would give us two light beams. All holy light become one. That's an interesting one that I don't think I've seen. I think I'm going to take the count up, though. I think that'll really help us once we get to our evolution, because the evolutions I've seen so far are, like, really busted. Now, one of the downsides of the game, they love to turn up the volume when an elite shows up. I was going to turn down the volume, but then I realized that it's going to be kind of quiet once we jump back into, you know, non-elite mode. I really don't like it when games do this and they just crank the volume when it's elite time. But you know, apparently games think that that's cool, and it's like, no, it just blows out your ears. I set my volume at a certain level, and I'd like, you know, all of the game to be balanced around that volume. And so if you crank it up on me all of a sudden, I'm not going to like that very much. Alrighty here. What do we have? Holy, let's go for damage. Damage up by 50%. Never going to go wrong with more damage. The elite is gone, so why is my volume still really loud? Okay, well, let's go ahead. Oh, wait, I got to pick up my chest. This accessory will not work on red artifacts. So I think... So I haven't figured this out yet. If this is a red artifact, or once it evolves, is that a red artifact? That I haven't figured out yet. I'm assuming just anytime we tag this with red, probably it won't work, but I don't have any confirmation of that. I think I'm just going to go for more count. Let's get a third. And let's go ahead and make our way up to the airdrop. What is it doing? Is it actually firing? I'm going to be honest, I kind of forgot what it was doing, but it must be doing something because it's on cooldown. Huh, okay. It kind of disappeared. I kind of figured it was just going to do something while it was there. But that's my bad for not remembering exactly what it was doing. Anyway, we'll pick up this chest. And let's go with the hand cannon, actually. I know I said I didn't like it, but the wind was going to do the same thing. It was going to just shoot in the direction I was facing. And the other one, the wildfire, was just going to go behind me. Yeah, so we'll go more shrapnel, so that way we hit more things. Oh god, I'm stuck on that. Okay. So ideally here, moving forward, I'd be spending a lot more of my time trying to level up our light lance. And then in 3 upgrades, when we fight the next elite... Actually, I'm just going to turn... I am just going to turn this volume down. Yeah, music, we can turn that down. No master switch, it doesn't look like. That's okay. Yeah, so that way when the next elite shows up, we can go ahead and evolve this. Perfect. You know what? Let's just see. Right now we have 3. Does this do anything? No, it actually does look like it's... Yeah, it's definitely splitting into 6. Okay, so it does work. So I think that is saying that when you evolve it, you just can't evolve it into a red weapon. I actually like Arc Generator a lot. So I'm going to take that. What do we have here? We have Fireflies. I'm going to take the Firefly split into 2 ones. I think there are some translation issues for sure, which, you know, it is always an issue on any of the games coming over from the eastern region. It's just something that's going to happen, you know, just because languages don't translate 100% one into the other. And depending on like where the studio is, if they don't have any native English speakers, you know, I'm sure the same could be said if you're translating into any other language. There's going to be some issues, but overall we can kind of figure out exactly what's going on. I think I'm just gonna go for more damage. I do kind of like the repelling distance though. I think I'm actually gonna take one of these. Again, I'm not exactly sure what it's doing. Maybe is there some knockback? Maybe. I think there might be a little bit of knockback on the lance, so maybe that's what's being affected. I'm not entirely sure, but I figured with the warrior shout, worst case, it doesn't do as much as I think it does. Here I'm going to increase the arc, so of note we don't want to go green. But I don't think I've seen... I think so. I've only done 1 test run, and I evolved this into blue. So I'll be interested to see what the rainbow evolution looked like. The blue one was crazy. It just hit like half the screen. Now, where is our elite? It's always oh, he's literally right in front of me. It's the giant skeleton. Okay. That being said, before I pick up this chest, I think I would like to get 1 more level. Perhaps we can get our level into our lance, and then we can grab that chest and evolve it. Oh, wow. Okay, so Dash does not have any iframes. Okay. Yeah, so running through enemies, not the greatest thing. Probably wouldn't suggest doing that. Wow, we're taking big hits. Holy crap. The lava will damage you, so yeah, don't walk into that. That's not good. That's not fun. It's not just there for decoration. All right, here we go. We get our light lance. Let's go for... Yeah, let's go for cooldown reduction. And then we should get our evolution here. Yeah, there we go. So all the elements are going to combine. Light cannon. The reforged light lance blasts enemies violently and mercilessly. And we get some coins. I'm going to be honest, that one is kind of boring compared to the one I had before that literally just like blasted the whole screen. So it must just do more damage. Is there, can I see, let's see, hero attributes perhaps? It doesn't look like I can open up the weapons. I was kind of curious if I could see like their flat damage numbers, but I don't know if I can do that. I'm trying to hit like Control, Tab, Shift. Nothing's really opening up any other menus, so it doesn't look like it can open any of that. I kind of have an assumption here that you probably get more rewarded for picking power-ups of all the same type. And so likely the rainbow version is going to be a little bit worse than everything else. Now, another feature that I didn't talk about here, there's kind of like a rage feature over here on the left. So as you kill enemies, that meter is going to go up. If you get hit, you'll start to lose some of your flame. Once it reaches max, you're going to kind of speed up time, and that includes your literal timer here. So it will actually make your progression through the game go a little bit faster. But as far as I remember it telling me, enemies stay the same, you just get faster. What do we want here? Well, this is pretty decent, considering that we literally can't go purple. That being said, I kind of want to work on, well, I guess we need 9 total upgrades in order to upgrade a weapon and evolve, right? So this is one that I know is worded incorrectly. So if you read it, when receiving damage, it will cause 10 times of damage to the user. The user being the one who deals you damage. So this is not, it will deal you 10 times the damage. I'm going to take repay double because I'd like to go for a red upgrade on hand cannon. I feel like that might be a decent way to go. Why? I guess because red is a bit more aggressive. And so I'm assuming that on a shotgun would be fairly powerful. We got another drop down there, so we're going to go and make our way. First, I'm going to grab all these coins, and then I'm going to make my way down there. Alright, what do we want on Firefly? Maybe Firefly, we can try and go green. We get our defense up a bit. Although, I do like the Fireflies being split, so I'm going to take that while it's there. I feel like that one just kind of makes sense, you know, because we're having the Fireflies almost kind of being like scatter bomb types things, where they just kind of scatter around, and when they hit things, they explode. You found the hero's relic. All electric arc become 1. Oh, sorry. I saw this purple and I was thinking that it was a purple upgrade, but no, the weapon itself is just purple. So I guess we can only hit 1 enemy at a time. That's not really what I want. I'm actually going to pass up on that. This one's good though. We like the splitting there. And then what do we get from here? Literally the same thing, so we're going to pass up on that. Although, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like this is actually... Well, here I'm going to take the scatter. I was going to say, I think it might only be hitting... Is that a reroll? There's no indication that I can actually click that. I'm not going to click it just because I do want this. But it did look like it was just hitting 1 enemy. Which is not what I assumed that it would do. So maybe I misread the weapon. We're going all red. Every once in a while deploy 1 boost barrier. That seems kind of good just to get some shield going. Although, to be completely fair with you guys, I'm not a big fan of the telling me that it's going to happen once in a while. I definitely prefer if it said, like, once every 60 seconds. Like, that would be much more helpful. Let's see. We did decide to go with green, right? And I'm not big on these, so let's actually go for the effective deceleration web up by 10%. What is this? Is this hurtful to me? No, I guess it's helping me. We can increase, yeah, let's go ahead. While we have green, let's go ahead and take the green so that way we can kind of force it onto the fireflies. Oh, we got a magnet. That is going to be super nice. Look at all this experience that I'm not going to have to worry about running over and picking up every single one. We're just going to get a magnet. It's going to solve all of our problems. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of chunky boys. Okay, so this, I think, let's go blue here. Why? I don't know. Although electricity wax could be pretty good. So icy vortex is just gonna kind of spawn, yeah, one of these just on the battlefield every once in a while. In movement, dodging rate of 1 point speed up by 1%. So dodging rate, maybe 1 means 100. There's no way it means 100%. Never mind. That's busted. Do we want to increase? I feel like I want to increase the arc count, so that way we can hit a few more things. And then here, we're going red. So let's go for cell vitality for a little bit more defensives. And now we have all of our, I'm going to call them artifacts, all of our artifacts picked up. And now we just need to get the accessories on the weapon. Let's see. So we have, like, the world's our oyster here. Shrapnel causes explosions around. Seems like it would be really good. We could also just go with straight damage up, but I think I'm just going to take the explosions. Just hit more things. Yeah, what is this? I must have picked up something that's doing this. I just don't know. I don't remember what it is. How close are we? We're not really close to evolving anything, so we're just going to pick this up. Repelling distance. Yeah, repelling distance up. I mean, I'm going to take it just because we're almost there to evolution status. But I am just going to guess that repelling just must be knockback. That's just what makes sense to me. Oh, these... Oh, wait, they don't do damage? They teleport you. Oh, well, I was completely wrong about that one when I took it the last time. I thought it was like a damage thing, but no, it's just a portal. Do we want damage or do we want to... Let's go damage. Let's go damage. I was thinking about going count. Maybe I should have gone count. I don't know. All right, so now we get to turn on fire. We get to just speed up time. We get to kill everything super easy. Let's go. Shrapnel splits into 2 1s. Got any magnets? No, I'm looking around the corner of the screen, seeing if there's any icons, but I don't see any. Let's see, Firefly. Time required for enemies to appear up by 5%. Sure, we'll get the last green one. Of course, that will spawn less enemies, but, I mean, there's already a ton of enemies spawning. We're not really short on enemies and things to collect from those enemies. Yeah, you know, let's not hit that teleporter. That seems like a bad idea. Is there anything for damage? No, I don't see anything for damage. We could refresh them. Oh, but it refreshes the weapon too. Okay. Let's go for more damage. If I can get it for the last one, I'd like to get base count up. And before I pick up that chest, I'm going to try and get one more level here. We'll save that for our evolution. We have a bunch of experience up here, so let's grab all this. I'd love the magnet drop. That would be super helpful right now. Not the one I want. So let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, this is fine. We get to pick an evolution. Or we get to make sure that the chest gives us an evolution. I'm actually going to go with speed. These guys are kind of slow. Alright, and what does this evolve into? Flight of the Bumblebee. Wild bees believe in freedom. Swarm out of the hive and devour everything. Alright, kind of cool. So what exactly are they doing? Oh, man, there's just a whole bunch of them. They're flying out like crazy. Oh, there's another chest already. Perfect. Wow, okay. I keep screwing with me. Okay, we got our fire upgrade on. See if we can't get that last shotgun evolution here before we grab that chest. We're pretty far off. I don't believe we're not going to get the arc reactor though, because if I remember correctly, they're 15-minute rounds. Yeah, so we didn't get the count. I don't know what happens if you pick up multiple of these. Let's go for duration, since they do kind of stay on the screen for a little bit. And then we'll get our shotgun evolution. Overcharge. With an energy storage module, it causes fatal penetrating damage after being charged. Alright, so... Oh my goodness. It just hits everything. Okay, cool. Yeah, it is kind of restricting my movement a little bit when it goes off. You know, it's giving me not, what's the term? Oh, hit stop, that's the word. I think in a previous video I called it hit scan, which is something totally different. But hit stop, that's what I was going for. That magnet's going to be absurd. Let's go ahead and get all of our blue on first. Nothing there. So let's go for electrified enemies conduct electricity around. Now, we did just zoom out. I don't know why. I think maybe... Well, I know that there's an elite right there, but that's not the boss. When the boss spawns in, like, you know the boss spawns in. They give you a little cutscene. So maybe that's kind of like the heads up. It's kind of like the, hey, you're about to fight a boss. Yeah, we'll take those. So that gives us 2 power-ups, so we really just need 1 more level, get blue, and then we need a chest. And then we can potentially evolve that one too. Unfortunately, though, I don't really see any more elites on the battlefield that I can defeat. What happened here? It feels like everything slowed to a crawl. I guess these guys are just, like, really slow. Oh, we got a bunch of experience over here. All right, we'll go grab that. There we go. So there's the last blue one we need. Now we just need to find a chest. Oh no, something must have happened that slowed the game down. Because it definitely feels faster than a couple seconds ago. Okay, I guess we found a chest. Plasma balls encircle you and have massive damage. Motion affects rotation due to the... Sure, so that means something. Alright, but we got... oh, interesting. So it just kind of spirals around. Oh, so depending on which way I move, the orb spins a certain way. Interesting. And then once we get everything maxed out, then we have support supplies. So for me, coin bag seems like the most useful. As you've noticed in this run, health really hasn't been an issue. I don't know if there's something innate to this character that she gets health back, but it seems like she gets a lot of health back. So 60 HP, don't really need. Same thing for the heal over time. If you wanted to, if you didn't really want to waste your time with this, you could just hit automatically select and it will, I think, randomly select one of these. The super support impact literally is just kind of like in other bullet heavens. When you level up, it pushes everything back. This is kind of a, rather than doing it before you pick your level up, this is after you pick your level up, but I'm just going to take the coins. Yeah, so maybe it is 20 minutes when the boss shows up. Or it could be tied to kill count, perhaps. Maybe it's when you kill 20,000 enemies. I'm just thinking of, like, round numbers, right? Because I think in my test run, I fought the boss around this time. But I do also remember looking up at the timer, thinking, like, this is an odd time for a boss to spawn. Like, it wasn't a nice round number. Okay, well, it must not be 20,000, because we clearly just surpassed that number. Maybe it is just 20 minutes. We're going to wait till 20 minutes before we comment on it again. Be like, when does the boss show up? I think it's possible, though, that the way that the game is balanced right now, it gives you a little bit too much power out of the gate for the time that you spend in-game. And what I mean by that is, typically, when I play these different bullet heavens, I don't expect to be fully powered up the first couple times I play. Typically, what I expect is that you need to get some kind of meta progression for, like, extra experience, or you just need to get to a higher difficulty where there'll just be more enemies that spawn, or perhaps the level of or the amount of experience that drops is just higher at a lower level, and so it basically changes your experience curve because you're starting at you're getting a higher amount earlier, right? But this game, I mean, we were at what? We were at like 18, was it 17 minutes? I think that we got our last upgrade and we were done, which is not something that I typically see, right? Without the added experience. So I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know which would be the correct term, whether it's undertuned or overtuned. I would assume undertuned. Because typically I think overtuned is making it too hard, so undertuned would make it a bit too easy. Because like right now with all our, yeah, see 1944, there's nothing here that I see that's like a flat number, so I'm not exactly sure what the marker is as to when the boss spawns. Which is a little odd. I would kind of like there to be something, and perhaps there is, I'm just not noticing it, but I didn't see any. Oh boy, don't do the movie thing where you run straight away. Turn perpendicular. You know, which is obviously something I'd like. I'd like to know exactly when the boss spawns for this run. You know, it's not much of a big deal. It's not like I had to. Yeah, that thing is gigantic, dude. You know, it's not like I was very low on health and I was like, okay, I have 10 seconds to find health, right? That was not the case with this one. But you do kind of want to know when the end is coming, I think, as opposed to just kind of twiddling your thumbs and being like, okay, I guess maybe there's a minute left, maybe there's 2, maybe there's 10. I'm going to get whacked in the face by this thing. Apparently not. Okay, I don't know how that's supposed to hurt me then, because clearly I was underneath it. Yeah, see, I'm not sure about damage. Like, I'm literally sitting and not even, like, doing anything. And I'm not really taking that much. Okay, never mind. I'm taking damage. The game heard me. It's like, oh, you want damage, huh? It's like, no. But yeah, I'm, like, sitting underneath this thing. I'm not sure how it's supposed to hurt me. I'm wondering, like, if I just follow it, like, is it going to explode? Which maybe is a stupid thing to do. But yeah, it doesn't. Oh, maybe. No, I think it was highlighting it because we were hitting it. Maybe when you hit it, it kind of like it like phases through you. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you can see I haven't really been in fear for my life at all. I don't think I've really dropped below half health, if at all. And even when I did drop kind of low, our health just jumped back up to full. There's maybe something that has to do with this character that she kind of heals pretty quick that I just didn't catch up on. So you have all of our weapon breakdown. See, like, this is something that I wish that I could see in game. All this like damage, fire interval, stuff like that. I wish that was there. Hero attributes. Yeah, so like you can see HP recovery per second. We definitely healed up faster than that. So there's got to be something else that's influencing how much health we were getting. And then I'm not sure what attendant is. I'm assuming that maybe you can have, I don't know, something following around you, perhaps. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the run. And so then you get your mission complete. You get some of your items. We got summoning horns and gold coins. Can I buy another character right now? I wish after they said something, it would bring you into the menu rather than just like closing out the screen. Oh, I can buy new characters. I actually can buy a lot of new characters. She just starts with Firefly. There's like different HP differences. Cool. I would probably go with one of the characters with the weapons that I don't already have. But yeah, that is Return to Abyss. I think that the game itself is, I think the evolution system is cool. I'm always looking for like new games that do evolution differently, right? There's kind of like the original, well, I'm not like a game historian or anything, so bear with me if this is slightly incorrect, but when I think of the original bullet heaven evolution system. I think of Vampire Survivors, right? And there's other survivor games that we've played that share that same evolution system, where you grab a weapon and that weapon is tied to another trinket or another artifact. And as long as you have both those items and you level your weapon all the way up to max, then you can evolve it. Other games have done it slightly differently. And I like to see when games play around with the fact and make you think a little bit more about how you want to do your builds. One that I always go to because we've been playing it so much on the channel is Army of Ruin, which has a really cool elemental themed system where each weapon has 2 elements that you need to collect to evolve them. Each trinket has 1 element on it. So you have to make sure that you have the correct number of elements in order to evolve them. So for example, if you had a weapon that needed a fire and a leaf to evolve, you'd have to pick up trinkets, one of which was fire and one of which that was a leaf, to make it work. And so what that does is you can kind of choose. You're not locked into, for example, let's say there is a shotgun weapon that only evolves if you have a magnifying glass trinket, and whatever they do is arbitrary, doesn't matter, right? It's very limited to your build, or it very much limits your build, because as soon as you take the shotgun weapon, it's like, okay, if I want to get the evolution off, I have to take this trinket. Whereas in the way Army of Ruin does it, you can there's like 5 or 6 or 7, or there's a lot of trinkets in the game. There's like 100+ trinkets. But you can take any of, one of 10 in the pool to fit your leaf needs for the elemental infusion, it's called. So while you're a little bit limited in terms of like what specific type you need, it's pretty open-ended as to how you want to go about and build your character and what stats and what effects you actually want. Whereas what this one is doing is obviously a little bit different. You could choose to have a slightly weaker, in my opinion, evolution weapon, and just kind of free flow what abilities you put on your weapon, or you could go hyper specific and get all artifacts of the same color and then get a slightly more powerful weapon. I think that's pretty interesting. I also very much like this system that you can kind of prep what you want to do beforehand for a run. Now, I will be completely honest with you guys that for myself, I'm more of a fan of it because as a content creator, sometimes I kind of want to go in with a plan like, oh, today we're going to go in and do the, single line high damage. And then tomorrow we're going to do the same weapon, but it's going to be more AoE based. And it's more beneficial for someone in my position where, I'm trying to get a very specific build. However, I know that some of you guys had made note in the comment section that you're not a big fan of that because it kind of takes away from some of the excitement of a roguelike or roguelite, where you're kind of looking for that experience that's always going to change every time you play. And this kind of takes away some of that randomness. So I can totally understand that too. What I think is nice here is that you're not limited to only having 8 of these. If you want to, you can turn all of these on and still have that completely random feature. But for the people who do want to turn some of these off, that option is also there. So that at least doesn't take away from the people who do want 100% random experience, which is very nice. The airdrop system is also kind of in that similar vein, right? Where you are kind of choosing what things are dropping at what time. I'm assuming that these are in order. So like this would drop first in the fall. Oh, that's why I was thinking that this was shooting bullets. It was making earthquakes, right? So obviously I couldn't see those. All attendants use skills at once. Yeah, so attendants, like I thought, it must be like companions. So I'm assuming that these go in order. So every 150 seconds, like this drops, then after 150 seconds, this drops. That's how I'm assuming it works. But again, for people who don't like the like planning features of a bullet heaven, might not like that system. But again, don't have to engage with it if you don't want to. And for the people who do want to engage with it, it's there. I do think that a big negative here for this game, though, is just the fact that there's nothing to do on the map. That's kind of a shortcoming that I'm finding more and more a lot of these bullet heavens are doing, is they're just not really taking the time to put forward things to do on the map. This is very much a game where it's survive until the last boss shows up, and that's all you got. There's really nothing else to keep your brain engaged, whether it's, you know, trying to find boxes which maybe they have extra meta progression in them, like meta progression coins. Maybe they have health potions. Maybe they have power-ups that give you like fire breath or fire magic in this case. You know, just, or like special side quests or shrines that'll give your character slightly more power for the run. Just something to keep you engaged other than just running in a circle trying to dodge enemies. I think that works quite fine for games that are shorter in how their runs go. So anything that's like a Brotato equivalent, right? Where it's rounds that are under a minute long, and then it breaks it up. You play for under a minute, then you play and do your upgrades. You play again for under a minute, then you do your upgrades. I think that's totally fine. But when you're doing a game like this that is a longer in run, maybe 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes for some, it just gets a little monotonous for myself to, you know, do these runs and not have anything other than the level ups, especially like we talked about a little bit in game, where it felt a little bit undertuned, where this was only my second run and I was already able to get all of my upgrades, all of my evolutions by it was like 16 or 17 minute mark, I think. And like I mentioned, typically in these games, I expect to have to take a number of meta progression pickups in order to get more experience, get to a higher difficulty, so that way either tougher enemies are spawning that drop more experience, or enemies in general just drop more experience. And so if I was able to spread out the level ups, of course I could manually spread them out by just not picking up experience, but good lord, we couldn't have that or the commenters would freak out. I'm kidding. But because I was basically done leveling up, that was the only thing that was really engaging me during the gameplay. And so once you remove that factor, basically all I was doing was just clicking the coins button and then running around and surviving. And again, does this character have any kind of innate healing on her? I just didn't realize why we were healing so much. Other than healing points per second, which we did get somehow because she doesn't have that on her. Yeah, so I'm not sure why we were getting so much healing. But other than that, I think that the gameplay itself, when it comes to the evolutions and leveling up, is quite fine. But there are some flaws there that I've noticed to kind of be a trend in some of kind of like the mid tier and even the mid to high tier bullet heavens, because I don't think this one is bad by any means. It's just kind of missing a couple things. It's you know what the best way to put it is? It's missing a couple really good things that I would want, but what it does is it takes a couple features that are different that I haven't really seen in other bullet heavens and adds them in. So I think the things that it's missing are kind of higher importance than the things that they're added in here. However, the things that are added in here are quite nice and fun to play with and are a little bit different than you typically see. So it kind of takes what might have knocked it down. Let's say it knocked it down 5 pegs. The things that it added in brought it up 1 or 2. So those are kind of my thoughts. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Oh, I also want to say really quick, art style, pretty cool. Different than a lot of other stuff we see. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, if you did like the video, if you had some fun with me today, would you kindly smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action? But I'm out of here for the day. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching. She's going to have a Marilyn Monroe situation going on here, just noticed. But yeah, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.